Hi, I am Rex Dorado Bolante. I believe that communications brings people together, closer to each other. And that is a lesson that I plan to share to all of you today. But before we start, can I ask a question? Can you imagine life without communication? I don't think so. Communication is a vital role in human life. It does not only facilitate the process of sharing information, but it also helps us to develop relationships with others. Therefore, the importance of communication cannot be underestimated. And now, let us learn first the etymology of the word communication. When we say etymology, it is the study of word and origin. The word communication came from two Latin words. First, the communis, which means commonness. And the other one is the communicare, which means to share. And now, let us tackle the disadvantage and advantage of nonverbal and verbal communication. It saves time to communicate. That is the advantage of verbal communication. It has issue to communicating to the distant people. That was the disadvantage of verbal communication. The advantage of nonverbal communication, it is easy to present, but nonverbal communication has a disadvantage too. Long conversation and necessary explanation are not possible. So now, let us move on to the nature of communication. We have the communication process. When we say process, it is a cyclical. Second one, it occurs two or more people. Next, communication can express whether verbal, nonverbal, or both nonverbal and verbal communication at the same way. So, in order to understand more, here are the elements of communication. We have the speaker, message, encoding, channel, decoding, message, receiver, feedback, context, and the last one is the barrier. These elements will explain to us the mechanics of a process. This time, let's explain to you the process of communication. Do you know that the process of communications begins at the speaker, also known as the sender of the message and information? The speaker encodes by converting message into an action or word. Next one is the message. The message is simply that information, thought, or the ideas that conveyed by the speaker. After that, the message is being transported to a channel. The channel includes the face-to-face conversation, the video conferencing, telephone conversation, written communication, mass media, and so on. Next in line is the listener or the receiver. When the receiver decodes a message, decoding means understanding. When the receiver already decodes the message, he or she can now make a response, or also known as a feedback. The feedback are the reaction of the receiver to the message of the sender. Have you ever tried having a hard time just to cope up with a good conversation? Yes, it's happened. You know, sometimes misunderstanding happened because of the presence of the noise, or we called it the barriers. We have the two types of barriers, the external and the internal barriers. External barriers, these barriers happened outside. It could be the bark of the dog, the sounds of the vehicle, and the people surrounding us. Internal barriers. This barrier happen in us. Since it is not visible, it is hard for us to control our feelings and emotions.